President of Academic Affairs. And I serve as the level of appeal for all things academic, but Dr. Pollock does such a fine job that I don't know any of you. So that's a good thing. But I do want to recognize, or we do want to recognize that we know that many of you are currently perhaps in a particularly difficult position regarding the weather. And although not by blizzard, we in Sarasota, Florida are familiar with unkind weather. It is the H word that I will not pronounce fully, but we're familiar with it, and we want you to know we're with you if you're having to deal with any of the difficult weather that's happening currently. So before we begin this joyous ceremony, let me remind you to turn off your microphones, please, your cell phones and other electronic devices. If you'd like to use the closed caption option, you can enable that feature in Zoom. Please be courteous to those around you by refraining from talking during the ceremony, and please mute your microphones at this time if you haven't done so already. During the presentation of graduates, we strongly encourage you to express yourself by applauding and cheering, but the use of air horns is expressly forbidden. However, the yips and yipes and caws of pets are fully welcome, as we know they were part of your journey with you. Graduation celebrates students as well as faculty. To all of our impressive faculty, we honor and thank you for this day. And as a means by which to recognize and inspire you, I'm going to share a quote from the 14th Dalai Lama, who said, "Share your knowledge. It is a way to achieve immortality." Ladies and gentlemen, as Vice President of Academic Affairs, it's my honor to introduce our Sarasota University President, Dr. Michael Levins.
Thank you, Dr. Riedmiller. Welcome to the Winter 2026 commencement at Sarasota University. Graduation is both the formal recognition and celebration of the hard work and dedication of our students and a testament of their knowledge and skills. I am delighted to be here for this important occasion and glad that each of you, family, friends, faculty, university staff, and board members, alumni, and especially our newest graduates are here to join us. I'd like to acknowledge members of the Sarasota University senior leadership, many of whom are with us today. Dr. Lindsay Pollock, Provost, Dr. Doug Riedmiller, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Director of Regulatory Affairs, Anita Blaylock, Director of Financial Services, Jordan Corley, Director of Marketing, Ellen Lastinger, Director of Admissions and Alumni Relations, Dr. Chuck Milnarczyk, Registrar and Director of Student Services, and Heather White, Director of Academic Projects. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Mark Selden, Chairman of the Sarasota University Board. So we have Mark.
Unfortunately, I believe Mark is one of those individuals who is unable to join us due to the weather that many of us are experiencing.
Well, my apologies, and I hope Mark is okay. And again, I also extend my gratitude and appreciation for all the attempts to work through all that. And I will go ahead and I would like to recognize the SU board members. Dr. Mark Selden is our chair, Cheryl Ogrodnik, Kitty Bravo, Tim Selden, Richard Ungerer. And really pleased that we have a terrific board and tremendously supportive of all of us. And I will now turn this over back to Heather.
Well, on behalf of all of our faculty here at Sarasota University, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you to all of our graduates, families, friends, and honored guests who are with us today. My name is Heather White, and as Mike said, I am the Director of Academic Projects and a professor here at Sarasota University. Much of my work, both within the Sarasota University institution and beyond it, centers on supporting adults as they're growing into reflective, capable, and grounded educators. I've spent many years working alongside Montessori communities, and today my professional life is really shaped by guiding adult learners in a variety of roles as an instructional guide, practicum advisor, field consultant, and educational coach. It's really my privilege to stand here with you today and speak on behalf of our faculty. Commencement invites us to take a moment to pause. In the midst of our busy lives and future plans, it asks us to slow down just long enough to notice what has changed. This ceremony is not only about marking the completion of a program or the earning of a degree, it's really about honoring the internal work that brought you here, the thinking, the unlearning, the questioning, and the recommitting that happens when real learning takes place. Each of you arrived at Sarasota University carrying your own experiences, assumptions, and hopes. Over time, you were asked to look more closely at children, at systems, and at yourselves. You wrestled with ideas, engaged deeply in practice, and learned to sit with complexity rather than to rush to easy answers. That work is not always visible, but it's profound, deeply profound. It's the kind of work that shapes how you show up in classrooms, schools, and communities long after today. Maria Montessori once said, "The greatest sign of success for a teacher is to be able to say, the children are now working as if I did not exist." Embedded in that idea is a sense of trust. Trust in the learner, trust in the process, and trust in growth that cannot be rushed. During your time here, faculty served as guides rather than directors. We offered structure, feedback, and challenge, but the transformation that occurred belongs to each of you. You learn to take responsibility for your own development, and that is no small feat. Sarasota University was created with a clear purpose: to serve those who believe education can be both intellectually rigorous and deeply human. As a faculty, we've watched each of you engage seriously with scholarship, apply theory to practice, and reflect thoughtfully on your role as educators and leaders. You've demonstrated persistence, humility, and a willingness to grow, qualities that matter far more than any single assessment or assignment. There's something especially fitting about gathering together today in winter. Winter is often misunderstood as an ending, when in truth, it's really a season of quiet preparation. Beneath the surface, roots are deepening, energy is gathering. This moment in your lives is much the same. You're leaving here not with everything figured out, but with the tools, the habits of mind, and the ethical grounding to continue learning. As Maria Montessori reminds us, development is a series of rebirths. Today marks one of those rebirths for each of our graduates, a transition into a new stage of responsibility and contribution. As you move forward, remember that graduation does not separate you from this institution. Rather, it connects you in a new way. You're now joining a growing community of Sarasota University alumni working across diverse contexts, carrying forward a commitment to thoughtful practice, respect for human development, and education as an act of hope. Wherever your work takes you, you remain part of this shared mission. On behalf of the faculty here at Sarasota University, I want you to know how deeply proud of you we all are. We admire not only what you've accomplished, but how you accomplished it with care, integrity, and intention. May you leave today confident in your preparation, open to continued growth and learning, and mindful of the impact that your work will have on the lives of others. Congratulations, graduates. We look forward to watching what you build next and welcoming you to our Alumni Association. And now it is my pleasure to turn the program back over to you, Dr. Levins.
Thank you so much, Heather. We're going, as we prepare to have our guest speaker, commencement speaker, we're actually going to move forward and first to the student speaker, and I'll introduce Dr. Reed Miller to make that introduction.
Dr. Levins, pardon
Yes.
me, I'm sorry. I think we might have a little bit of a technology glitch. Heather, could you check the waiting room, please, and make sure that folks in the waiting room?
Yep, there's no one in the waiting room right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Pardon me, Dr. Levins. And we'll go to Chitra at this time.
Yes, indeed. Let me introduce our student speaker for today. Chitra has been a Montessori educator for over 20 years and is currently in a leadership role as the assistant school leader at Endeavor Montessori School in Dunwoody, Georgia. She has a bachelor's degree in business and a postgraduate diploma in human resources. She also has undergone Montessori primary, lower elementary, and upper elementary MACD certification. Chitra was inspired by the Montessori method of education with her when her children started schooling in this system. She is passionate about teaching and strongly believes in the philosophy espoused by Maria Montessori to follow the child. This system provides opportunities to children to learn, grow, and develop in a safe and carefully prepared environment. The environment is created with the child in mind, considering both current developmental and future needs. He enjoys working with children and feels a sense of pride to hear about the achievements of many of her students in many different fields who continue to keep in touch with her. Chitra has been living in the United States for the past 30 years and lives in Lilburn with her husband and 2 children. Her children are both Montessori products and are now graduates who are part of the workforce. She enjoys traveling, gardening, listening to music, cooking, and spending time with family. Chitra, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Although we are celebrating online, this moment is meaningful and powerful for all of us. It is an honor to be here as a student representative of this graduating class at Sarasota University. Our master's journey brought together individuals from different backgrounds, all balancing work, family, and countless responsibilities. There were long nights and many challenges, but what united us was
It appears as though we have a bit of a technical issue, as can so often be relied upon in this type of presentation. So let's give Chitra just a minute to come back to us, and if not, we will reconnoiter and figure out where we're going to go. So we're going to demonstrate the flexibility that is the hallmark of Montessorians. And Mike, I think if you don't mind, I'll come back to you and kind of see which direction you'd like to go in here.
All right. So we are waiting to have our keynote speaker, Tim Selden. I will do I'll do a setup for that, hoping that we get that sorted soon. Apologies for the technical challenges. But
Mike, Dr. Levins, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It looks like Chitra might be back with us. So
okay,
would you mind if we go back to Chitra?
please.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, technical difficulties. Yeah, I was saying that Sarasota University challenged us to think critically, reflect deeply, and grow professionally. Even we were all in virtual setting, we experienced strong community and support both from the dedicated faculty and fellow students. I would like to extend thank you for Dr. Pollard and Ms. Lastinger and all the faculties. Your guidance, encouragement always, and believe in us made a lasting impact on our journey. We are truly grateful for our leadership and dedication. Finally, without our family, we cannot achieve these goals. So thank you for all our family who always support, and thank you for your patience and constant support. This achievement would not be possible for us. To my fellow graduates, today we celebrate not just a degree, but our growth and commitment to Montessori values. As we move forward, let us lead this integrity, compassion, and purpose. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to speak.
Terrific.
you
Thank
so-
you, Chitra, for those words. Dr. Levins, I'll come back to you.
Thank you so much, Teacher. What an honor. Thank you. And it's such a pleasure to have you as a member of our community. I am pleased to introduce our keynote speaker, Tim Selden. Tim is the president of Montessori Foundation and chair of the International Montessori Council. He is a co-founder of the Center for Guided Montessori Studies and co-director of its Montessori School Leadership Certification Program. Tim serves on the Sarasota University Board of Directors. It's more than 40 years of experience in Montessori education, includes 22 years as headmaster of the Berry School in Silver Spring, Maryland, which was his own alma mater from age 2 through high school graduation. Tim was co-founder and director of the Institute for Advanced Montessori Studies, the Center for Guided Montessori Studies, and currently also serves as the head of Newgate School in Sarasota, Florida. He earned a BA in History and Philosophy from Georgetown University, Master of Education in Educational Administration and Supervision from the American University, and his Montessori certification is from the American Montessori Society. Tim Selden is the author of several books on Montessori education, including his latest, How to Raise an Amazing Child. Also, other books include The Montessori Way with Dr. Paul Epstein and Building a World-Class Montessori School, and many, many more absolutely impactful publications. Tim is the father and stepfather to 5 former Montessori students and the grandfather of a new generation of Montessori students. He lives on a small vineyard north of Sarasota, Florida, with his wife. There are many horses, dogs, and cats. Welcome, Tim.
Well, thank you, Dr. Levins, and it is an honor. I should clarify that I am now the retired past chair of the International Montessori Council, and I am the retired past head of school of the Newgate School. And
My
it was an
apologies.
honor. No, it's quite all right. It was quite an honor to be with them for all those years. My graduates, this is an interesting day in the United States. We're having almost a continent-wide snowstorm and sleet storm. I'm thankful that I have power, but it is my pleasure and honor to be with you today. My talk tonight is called The Courage to Lead, when people, money, and morale are all at stake. For all of you and for all of us that are with you, today is a moment of celebration. It's also a moment of transition, and it is a moment that brings together people who will step into very different roles. Some of you are graduating as Montessori teachers, guides who will lead classrooms, prepare environments, observe children closely, and make hundreds of quiet decisions every day that shape who children become, whether as individual teachers or as coaches and guides, mentors to teachers. You are quintessential educators. Some of you are graduating as school leaders, heads of schools, administrators, directors, people who will be and probably are now responsible for institutions, budgets, staffing, and long-term sustainability. What unites all of us is that we are all leaders. We are all guides. In Montessori, leadership is not defined by position. It is defined by responsibility, by presence, by the willingness to act with intention when the stakes are real. Montessori leadership is often described in terms of vision and philosophy, and those things matter. But the real work, whether we are leading a classroom or leading an institution, happens in far more complicated terrain. It happens at the intersection of people, money, morale, and mission, where decisions feel personal, where trade-offs are unavoidable, and where the impact of our decisions will be felt by others, often immediately. Those of us who are leading classrooms will feel this when staffing is tight, when resources are limited, when a child is struggling, or when a family arrives with fear or with frustration. Those of us leading schools will feel it when budgets don't quite work, when teachers are exhausted, when enrollment wavers, or when every decision seems to carry emotional weight. Courageous leadership does not deny these realities, but it also does not allow fear to quietly shape the culture of the school. Instead, it asks all of us, regardless of the role that we formally play, to lead through influence, through systems, and through care for the people around us. This is Montessori leadership. One of the gifts of Montessori is that it teaches us to think in terms of systems. It teaches us to think systematically. Montessori, I would propose, is a system of systems. It is not the first form of education to have similar ethos and similar values about the dignity of children or the idea of a culture of caring. But it is something maybe not unique, but special in that Dr. Montessori was a systems thinker. And what she created is something that is sustainable, effective, adaptable, and can be carried on down through the generations. It is a system of systems in the way time is structured, how space is prepared, how learning materials are used, how relationships are nurtured. Whether we are organized a classroom day or shaping an entire program, our leadership lives inside of these systems. School functions best when there's a shared understanding of how things work, about how we treat one another, about what we expect of ourselves and of each other, about what children deserve to experience as they grow. For teachers, this clarity creates confidence and calm. For school leaders, it creates coherence and sustainability. For everyone, it reduces stress and builds trust. But clarity must be built together. Agreements about how we work cannot simply be imposed. They must be shaped collaboratively and held together consistently. This is true in a classroom, and it is even more true across organizations. We are also leading in a time of scarcity. Teachers today in most of the world are harder to find than ever. Support staff are stretched thin. Burnout is real. Whether we are responsible for hiring or simply trying to hold a classroom together, the pressure that we feel is real and it is pervasive. In times like these, fear can quietly take over. Fear of speaking up, fear of addressing misalignment, fear of asking for change. Courageous leadership at every level means leading through scarcity, not around it. It also means seeking common ground, not simply engaging in conflict and confrontation. Finding common ground is the heart of peace education. It is based on human dignity and human relationship and careful, nonviolent conversation. It means upholding standards, even when doing so feels risky. It means supporting growth rather than avoiding discomfort. And it means taking time to build relationships that make hard conversations possible. Leadership also requires patience. Taking time to find the right fit, whether with families who are applying for admission to your school, colleagues who are part of your school, because anyone living is trouble and anything living takes work, or taking the time to find the right fit within institutions. It is an act of care. It protects children. It protects adults. It protects the long-term health of schools. Leadership is not only exercised through authority, it is exercised through influence. Teachers lead through presence by how they show up for children and how they show up for their colleagues. School leaders lead through presence and through influence by being visible, by being attentive, and being connected to the daily life of the school. Faculty and staff lead through presence by how they support one another and how they contribute to the culture of a positive school. Coaching builds capacity. Coaching of other teachers, coaching of new people who have joined the staff, helping them to learn the way we do things here. Communication is part of coaching. It shapes culture. Onboarding creates a sense of belonging, that I know how things work here, that people see me, people care about me, people hear me. These are not administrative details. They are the daily practices of Montessori leadership. At the heart of this work is a shared responsibility, making sure that people feel seen, heard, and valued. Children need this, parents need this, and our colleagues need this too. Leadership means noticing who feels comfortable and who does not. Noticing who speaks easily and who hesitates. Noticing who is recognized and who tends to be overlooked. And then doing something about it. Resistance is inevitable. Change always triggers resistance. People say things like, this isn't the way my trainer taught me. I've done this for 30 years. I know what works. Experience deserves respect, but it does not replace reflection. Courage asks us to engage differences thoughtfully, to return again and again to share commitments of children, and remain clear about what truly matters. Sometimes leadership also means accepting that not everyone will choose to stay in our organization. That can be painful, but it is not always failure. Sometimes this is how we maintain integrity. Morale is shaped not only by workload or compensation, although they help, but by clarity, consistency, and trust. Adults, like children, need a prepared environment. They need predictable rhythms. They need clear expectations. They need honest and transparent communication. They need time to reflect and time for collaboration. And leadership at every level, they need leadership that is steady rather than reactive. Structure is not the opposite of care. It is one of its most reliable expressions. Montessori is about structure, even though it tends to look, in some people's eyes, as if what we do is unstructured. Financial courage is part of this story as well. Not every problem can be solved easily, but courageous leadership, whether in a classroom or in a boardroom, refuses to accept chronic instability as inevitable and insists on honest conversation about what will make our lives and our institution financially sustainable. And none of this work is meant to be done alone. None of it is meant to be done as an expression of blame or guilt. Montessori leadership is about relationships. It is shared. It is practiced together, day by day. At its core, I believe every one of us, regardless of the title that we hold, is a leader. And leadership is not about eliminating anxiety. It is about becoming a steady presence within anxiety. We cannot promise ease, but we can offer clarity, integrity, and a commitment to building schools and classrooms that are worthy of people's trust and effort. Leadership may sometimes feel like you're herding cats, but it is also pathfinding, helping a community move step by step towards coherence, trust, and possibility. It is about inspiration. It is about relationship. Whether we are leading a classroom, supporting a team, or guiding an entire institution, we are stepping into leadership. And when we lead with courage in this fullest sense, caring for people, building systems that support growth, and making principled decisions, even when they are hard, we help create schools where children thrive and adults are more likely to stay, not because difficulty was avoided, but because it was faced together with honesty, structure, and care. Graduates, congratulations on this milestone and on the leadership that we are already bringing into the world. It has been my pleasure to spend a few minutes speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tim. Your words are an inspiration to us all. And thank you for your service to Sarasota and our entire community. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. I'd also like to remind everyone that we are building a scholarship in the name of Dr. Michael Doerr, who helped build the foundation for our Doctor of Education program that launched in 2025. This scholarship celebrates Dr. Doerr's life, values, and lasting impact on Sarasota University and the Montessori community. All current doctoral students are eligible to apply. If you are interested in donating to this scholarship, please use the QR code on your screen to donate. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered today to celebrate the achievements of a group of exceptionally talented individuals who will be receiving degrees in Montessori education and Montessori leadership from the only MACD accredited Montessori university in the world, Sarasota University. Sarasota University was founded in 2012 as a Montessori-inspired, learner-centered caring community distinguished by rigor, relevance, and civility. And that mission remains true today. Sarasota University exists as an active community of learners where engagement in thoughtful analysis and intellectual honesty are the norm, and where the tools of critical thinking result in reflective practice. Our students represent the foundation of all that is Sarasota University. We are grateful, and we are all grateful for your work. On behalf of Sarasota University, I offer my very best wishes to all of today's graduates. You worked hard, you succeeded, and now you should celebrate. Thank you, and I wish each and every one of you the very best. I now recognize Dr. Lindsay Pollock to acknowledge our students' academic achievements.
Thank you, Dr. Levins. It is now my honor to certify the candidates for undergraduate degrees. Will all the candidates who are to receive the Bachelor of Science in Montessori Education please rise and remain standing? Dr. Levins, on behalf of the faculty, I certify to you that these candidates have completed all of their academic requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree in Montessori Education and are entitled to receive their degree. They are Namra Khan Lodi, Aaron Reichstein. Candidates, please be seated. It is now my pleasure to recognize our students who have completed their Masters of Arts degrees. Will all candidates who are to receive their Masters of Arts degrees please rise and remain standing? Dr. Levins, on behalf of the faculty, I certify to you that these candidates have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees. They are Ty Hodge, Masters of Arts in Montessori Education. Chitra Suresh, Masters of Arts in Montessori Leadership. I offer my congratulations to each of you for the significant accomplishment being celebrated here today. Your hard work and the personal sacrifices you made in reaching this important plateau are a true reflection of both your abilities and commitment. You are now in position to make a significant difference in the world, and I wish you continued success and prosperity. I wish you every success in your future endeavors, and I look forward to recounting your achievements to future graduating classes. Candidates, congratulations. You may be seated.
Now, by virtue of the authority vested by law in Sarasota University and delegated to me by the Board of Directors, I confer upon each of you the respective academic degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And I offer my sincere congratulations. I'd like to thank the Sarasota University staff who planned and executed the commencement ceremonies today and express my appreciation to the faculty and administrators who gave their time today to participate. Your presence means a great deal to our graduates. I'd also like to thank our orators, Tim Selden and Chitra Suresh. And now, graduates, please rise. It is time to move your tassels to the left side to signify your graduation. If you ever forget which side your tassel belongs, remember that you wear it on the left side over your heart to remind you of your alma mater. Let me be the first to offer my warmest congratulations to you for a prosperous and successful future. This day signifies a new beginning for each and every one of you. In addition to earning the degrees conferred upon you today, You have earned the right to be associated with a very special group of individuals. You can now call yourselves alumni of the Montessori University, Sarasota University. This day marks a wonderful milestone not only in your lives, but also in the life of the university. I wish you all the best as you go into your new lives as graduates of Sarasota University. Enjoy your day of celebration with your family and friends and return to us soon. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations to all of our graduates. And now I have the pleasure of introducing our alumni representative, Elena Rosemond. Elena Rosemond has spent her career in education, with the bulk of the past 20 years spent as a Montessorian. As an early childhood Montessori teacher, Elena thrives on a combination of chaos and structure that comes with working daily with preschoolers, finding no greater source of joy than casual conversation with 3-year-olds. As a school director, Elena is dedicated to creating a school community that is welcoming, empathy-centered, and accessible. Working in a growing area with very few Montessori schools, Elena is invested in cultivating Montessorians and growing access to Montessori for both students and teachers. Elena has a BFA in photography from the Maryland Institute College of Art, her MACD Early Childhood credential, and her Master of Arts in Montessori Leadership from Sarasota University. Elena is not only an alumnus, she also serves as adjunct faculty member at SU. Elena is a member of the Montessori Association of North Carolina's Education and Governance Board. Originally from Durham, Elena has lived in southeastern North Carolina since 2012. She has 2 smallish children and spends her free time trying to convince them to wear socks. Additionally, she enjoys floating in the ocean, running, and photographing birds. Elena, the floor is yours.
Thank you for that. Congratulations, graduates. You have now become members of an elite organization, the Alumni Association of Sarasota University, the Montessori University. We are graduates of the only MACT accredited Montessori University. As alumni, we all have the greater responsibility of ensuring that Sarasota University continues its growth. As a unique institution offering bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in Montessori education and Montessori leadership, we have the opportunity to magnify the impact of Montessori education and Montessori philosophy in our schools, our communities, and in the world. We, as alumni, along with the university faculty and staff, will ensure we get there. We should all be excited because excellence and growth in Sarasota University means excellence and growth in value of the degree you receive today. I invite each of you to become active participants in our Alumni Association. Learn about our Alumni Association, keep in touch with your friends and colleagues, and stay aware of what's going on here at Sarasota. Finally, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I again congratulate you on your individual accomplishments and challenge each of you to join hands with us in continuing to help build and support this great university in the months and years ahead. We know that you will never forget your alma mater and hope that you'll continue to stay in touch with and grow with the Montessori University.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for attending and for celebrating these graduates. This concludes our Sarasota University 2026 Winter Commencement Ceremony. Thank you.